Hey everybody, Joe here. Welcome from Figured Out Crew back again, and this time I'm going to start over. Start off to a great start.
Perfect.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Figure It Out, the show where we go around and we talk about people who used to work at Hasbro and made toys that we love, and who are doing that same thing but just not at Hasbro. I'm Joe. With me as always, Mike, Tyler, fellas. How are we doing? Right on, right on. Well, let's kind of a left field news day today. But before we get into it, let's talk new acquisitions, guys. Did you get anything?
I got the Colossus and Kitty Hasbro that came in. Pretty pleased with it. Looks cool. I like a shiny Colossus, and it was shiny in spades. Joss Whedon hadn't done too many things right since Buffy and Angel and Firefly, but he made a comic
His
that
run,
brought Colossus back.
his run on
I
Astonishing.
Yep.
Yep. Although, do you feel like him doing that negates his sacrifice of ending was it the legacy virus that killed all the mutants? The legacy virus?
I would say yes, because when someone's your favorite character to that point, it sucks. Like, I wouldn't have had
Yeah.
any Colossus for like 20 years. So
Yeah.
I do owe him gratitude on that. But his part in the Justice League movie, not great.
What was his part of the movie?
They brought him in to Marvel-fy it and
Okay.
do a bunch of
Okay.
put in Whedon-esque
Yeah.
speak
Yeah.
and just completely offset the tone established by Zack Snyder, which already wasn't off to the greatest start. So yeah.
But yeah, I got that, and that's it. I've been good.
Tyler, I'm going to jump in front of you.
Please do.
I've been on kind of a Kenobi kick and also vintage collection. So Hasbro Pulse got him in, and I bought him because he's been sold out for a while. This is the vintage collection Ben Kenobi, obviously from A New Hope. This might very well be the last one I ever buy because it is that perfect. Like cloth goods robe.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah, comes with the lightsaber handle and then the one with the full blade.
I think he got his hand position right. That's how his offhand. Like that's how I see his offhand in my. That's how I remember him carrying himself in the movie. That's great.
The head sculpt, I'm gonna try to get it, but like they finally cracked the code on the head sculpts. This isn't really the greatest camera for this, but yeah, just really, really excellent. And also found the Darth Vader vintage collection they had up at Fan Fortress. I was naughty and was able to sneak away and see what they had. They had a vintage collection Darth Vader, so I got that. I can't recall if there's anything else. I just painted some terrain and painted this guy for a certain brother of mine. A friend of ours did a 3D print of a Wookiee Jedi. And again, you can't really get the face sculpt, but I like the face, but it came out really well. I was really pleased with it.
Yeah, it looks really good. Your brother is grateful.
Thank you. And then finally got my Noble team all primed and ready for the quick shades.
Oh, baby.
So, yeah.
I've been clean. Living clean. Yeah, I know. Living clean.
There's items in my car, my friend, that beg to differ.
All right, well. They're not in my
items in your
possession yet.
hand, right?
They're not in my possession yet. So
those are
I'm gonna.
was it Schrodinger's toys?
That's right. I'm gonna say I'm living clean.
Tyler has both new acquisitions and no new acquisitions. And that is
Respect.
the state he finds himself in.
That is
Respect,
right.
sir, respect.
That's right.
We out here with plastic. So speaking of plastic and those that design it and make it, we are going to talk about a dude who is responsible for a lot of the Joes that we love in classified, making the jump from 375 to 6-inch. From our friends over at His Tank, Lenny, G.I.Joe classified designer, leaving Hasbro. And this was a screenshot of of the original Instagram post that he made. Here he is standing with Sergeant Slaughter himself. And here it says, G.I. Joe classified designer Lenny has shared he is leaving Hasbro and the G.I. Joe line. Lenny has been classified since the start, or almost, and is often the face of the team during live streams and at conventions. His passion, energy, and authentic love of the brand steered the line to what it is today. So, and then this is the original text where he says, "After 20 incredible years, I'm stepping away from Hasbro and onto a new adventure with Boss Fight Studio, a decision that felt right for me and my family. It's hard to put into words what this chapter has meant to me, from the early days on Spider-Man to time on Transformers, and ultimately helping bring G.I. Joe Classified to life. The design work was always special to me, but the people made it unforgettable. I've had the privilege of working alongside some truly talented, passionate creators. To everyone who's been with G.I. Joe Classified, you made this something bigger. Your passion, your deep knowledge, your feedback, the call outs, it all mattered more than you probably realize. It pushed us to dig deeper and make the line better. I'm going to miss being a part of this community, but I'm pumped for what's ahead with Boss Fight Studio. The chance to build new worlds, push ideas, and create in ways I haven't before. There's a lot I've been wanting to explore, and I can't wait to bring it to life. Excited for what's ahead and the opportunity to build something new with Boss Fight. Proud of what we created together. On to the next chapter." I mean, let's get into this, guys. How are we feeling about this? Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm bummed. Like they mentioned he mentioned his passion and energy in the live streams. Like every time that they would ask him or he would bring out a new action figure to show off, he would always say it was his favorite growing up. And it's just like you can't fake that. You can't fake that enthusiasm. You can't fake that passion. And I really hope that the brand is and the team is going to be able to just kind of pick up where he leaves off and take the ball and run with it. But well, I mean, we're going to see. What do you guys think?
Thoughts, and they're all over the place. So bear with me. First thing is I'm a little pissed off. Can I say pissed off?
You already did.
Okay. The fact that Hasbro didn't give him a live stream to kind of make an announcement, because the fans know that he kept this line going. Because at the beginning of this line, it was rough. Like Cobra Island was really ticking fans off, and he just kept his nose to the grindstone and just kept making good products that fans wants. And I'm sure he had to trust that the logistics would get better. But this guy has been with Hasbro, it said, for 20 years, and he didn't get a chance to make an announcement on a live stream, say bye to a classified series, let him like pick a project or a Joe and be like, "Hey, this is your swan song, dude. Like your Magnus Opus. Like go get it and thank you." He didn't get that. He had an Instagram post. So did Hasbro show any kind of appreciation?
Sure, that's what the money was for that they paid him with, but still, like he's been a loyal soldier
There's
for 20
as
years.
someone that likes two kinds of appreciation, monetary and, I don't like to work for ungrateful people. I really don't. Having been at bad jobs and had bad supervisors and ungrateful people, it really bugs me. And I know everyone always says, just like Joe, well, that's what the money's for. Yeah, but I can go make money somewhere else and potentially a lot more. I don't want to be in a miserable situation where I'm working for people that can't say a simple thank you or, hey, man, I appreciate that. Or at the end of the year, give me a bonus. Like it, Hasbro could have done this better. Like they could have let him have a live stream, let him make an announcement, let him do his last live stream and be like, okay, at the end, make your announcement. Like something. Like let him choose a Joe. I don't know. That's what makes me mad. Second off, I wonder if the well is dry for classified. If there's just nothing that interested him, right? Because he loved Joe's like Road Pig and kind of the classic Joes. Well, most of them have already been done, so it's gonna be rehashed stuff. So maybe he wasn't into that. Maybe he wasn't into doing, like, I don't know, the
Like the
third.
deeper, like C, D tiers.
Yeah, the 19th Snake Eyes, right? or something like that. But you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
the cool stuff, in my opinion, is already been made, and I know there might be some pushback from that, but I got the rawhides, I got Spirit, I got two, I got Low Lights, got two, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know, but the last thing I want to say is just thank you to Lenny. So I was angry, then I was curious, and now I'm just thankful. Like, he made some really cool toys and just items that piqued my interest from childhood into adulthood. Like, I'm looking at my wall and it's just the Spirit alone and the Law and Order alone. Like, the care that was taken into that Law and Order was someone that really cared about the product, because you had to put as much time into Law as you did Order and vice versa. So the craftsmanship, the detail, the knowledge. Thank you, Lenny. I appreciate it. I'm sure so many other fans do as well. Tyler, what are your thoughts? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Listen, I mean, nothing. You're not wrong. Everything you said there is valid. I think I'll say personally, I am choosing to believe that the Iron Grenadier Destro is his swan song.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I mean, obviously the figure is amazing. We talked about that, and I think it's outstanding. And he was still there when it was obviously being designed. So I'm gonna, in my head canon, that's his swan song, and everything I've seen so far, it looks like it's gonna be an absolute banger, like top 5 classified of all time, like really good. So um, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I'm just gonna assume that it is because that's what I want to think. My first thought when I read this news was, be careful what you wish for. Um, we talked about this in our last episode where I was specifically talking about the Iron Grenadier Destro and saying we need guys that are making this quality, this amazing figure, not at Hasbro. Um, and I still believe that we need
Oh,
that.
they heard it. Hasbro heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job,
So
Tyler. Thank you.
Lenny
Yeah.
heard it and said, "I got you, fam."
Yeah. So, I'm excited to see what he's gonna go do. I really didn't know or, much, and I still don't know much about Boss Fight Studios. Of course, when I read the news, I pulled up their website and looked through it, and they've got a line of 12-inch, 12-inch should be, 6-inch figures that, is like, what do they call it? Like epic hacks, I think is what they call it. And it looks really good. Like the figures that are there look really good. I'm not sure the licenses that they have are
I think they
great.
have
Like
Conan.
they do have
Like they
Conan,
have,
and that's
yeah.
coming. They have Red Sonja. There's a freaking 6-inch Red Sonja. There's this chef's kiss. It's amazing. So they have some really cool looking molds. So I'm confident these guys can produce good figures. I'm curious to know what franchise they're going to be working on. Reading the post, I get the impression, mm, couple impressions I get from the post. It almost sounds like he's gonna do his own thing, like he's got his own universe. He said he wants to build a world, so maybe it's not an existing franchise. Maybe he's gonna launch something new, like Bobby Bala did with Valaverse, something that's yes, he took the Action Force stuff, but it's really kind of a new line, and maybe he's gonna do something along those lines. I hope he does. The other thing I'll say when I'm reading his post, and this is coming from my background, working for a large Fortune 50 corporation for 14 years. When you see somebody say something like "This was the right decision for me and my family," that's a money.
Well,
Hasbro was not taking care of him. He
also,
wasn't.
I think it may. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think it also may have something to do with the announcement that Hasbro is moving headquarters from Rhode Island to Boston, Massachusetts.
That could be too. So you're
So
so very
yeah,
possible, right? It's when that happens, it's money, it's a work-life balance. So that would be a
yeah.
work-life balance thing, right? Where I don't want to have to move my family to Boston, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't move my family to Boston. Of course, I wouldn't move my family to Rhode Island, but um, you know, that's very much a possibility too. So one of those two things. What it boils down to is Hasbro is not taking care of him in the way that he feels like he needs to be taken care of or should be taken care of, and so he's going to go somewhere else and get a better deal. And so strictly personal speaking, sitting aside GI Joe, sitting aside classified series, as someone who left a corporate job for a much better job in a much smaller company, I applaud him. Wait, congratulations, you escaped. I can almost guarantee you your situation is going to be so much better. Um, the corporations just choke the life out of everybody that works for them. They reward mediocrity, and those folks that are great tend to get left behind and ignored. And so, I have no doubt that Hasbro's the same as all the other big corporations out there, where mediocrity is rewarded, and those folks that are truly talented and creative are kind of left behind. So I think it's going to be a good move for him. I applaud him for getting out. I think he'll probably find that as much as he liked the people at Hasbro, the culture in the smaller company is probably going to be a whole lot better for him. So looking forward to that for him. Obviously sad for the classified line. I think it's a big loss. I think it's a big loss isn't even say. I think it's a huge loss for the classified line. I think that when you have somebody who's that passionate and that enthusiastic, those are the kind of people that you have to keep around. But executives don't. That's not how they don't look and think in those terms. So good for him for finding a way out and getting out of there. And listen, don't blame me just because I said that I thought this was going to be a good. We need this to happen. But hopefully it worked out really well. I'm anxious to see what he's going to go do. I think Boss Fight has like I said, I think they've got the capability to produce good figures. My big question right now is: are you going into an existing franchise that they are taking over, or are you bringing something that new? I've looked in the news to see if Boss Fight Studios acquired any new franchises. I think the Conan one was about the newest one that I found that they have acquired the rights to. So if he goes into that, cool. Probably not going to be my thing. But I'm sure he'll do a great job. But I'm hoping he's doing something, because that Conan stuff's already coming. So that was already in the works before he got there. So I'm hoping he's got something new.
I will say if he makes his own world and they do toys off that world, I'd be down to like read the comics and get some figs, show some support.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
rare for me. You guys know I try to keep my stuff like to a handful of franchises.
yeah.
So
I mean,
I
that
wonder if this is paving the way for Hasbro to stop producing their own G.I. Joes and more kind of loan out the franchise like they do with Hiya Toys and Super 7. I can't help but wonder if if Lenny's going to kind of be the herald of G.I. Joe for it to not be from Hasbro anymore, but still be G.I. Joe, but just
yeah,
manufactured elsewhere.
it's a possibility.
that'd be
Kind of,
interesting.
It would
That'd be an
be.
interesting move. I guess my question would be, what has it been profitable for them to divest some of that franchise to Hiya Toys? Like, what does that do for Hasbro's bottom line? I would think the G.I. Joe classified as a profitable franchise for them. So I wonder what licensing that out would look like, but it's certainly possible. I will say one thing that Mike, you mentioned a live stream, him not getting a live stream. That doesn't surprise me. But again, going back to sterilizing the G.I. Joe and that stuff out of it, but just looking at how corporations handle separation with employees, they as soon as they find out an employee wants out, they're cutting ties immediately. And that's because these guys he's gonna be privy, this specifically, this guy's gonna be privy to a lot of information about the line. So he probably knows what the next 2 or 3 G.I. Joe Has labs are gonna be, for example. He probably has that knowledge. And the quicker they get him out, the less of that information is out there and at risk for them.
yeah, but they probably have him under NDAs
I'm sure
about
they
that
do,
stuff.
but what happens, information leaks, and then, NDA is cool, but you could still leak information. In order to prosecute somebody on an NDA, you have to prove that they are the source of that information. So if something were to get out anonymously, it may not be as credible information because you're not tying it back to that source. But if he's not working for them anymore, he has less invested in keeping those secrets. I'm not saying that, and I want to be very clear, I'm not saying this guy's going to do any of that stuff. I'm just saying corporations in general want to cut ties immediately
Yeah,
because they
it's
want to
not.
limit the information that's getting out there.
Yeah, it's starting to become more common that people get walked out rather
Yeah.
than the standard 2 week stuff.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, again, the corporation I work for, if you put in a 2 weeks notice, you were thank you very much. We'll pay you for 2 weeks. You're drop your stuff off right now, and we're walking you out the door, and we'll send somebody to your desk to pack up your crap. Like somebody will go to your office and get all your stuff and meet you downstairs, but you're done. So And that's very common in corporate America today. The minute you give your notice in, you're out. They're shutting off all your
Yeah.
access. They're kidding you. And you know, from a security standpoint, I get it. I agree with you, Mike. It would have been really nice for him to be able to come on a stream and you know, tell the folks live, show off one last figure, maybe do a little bit of uh you know, hey, let me do a little retrospective on the classified line while it's been in my care. Here are some of my favorites that I have created or that I worked on. And you know, he's gonna have an opportunity to do that. Let's be honest. There's gonna be
Yeah.
a lot of podcasts of people that are gonna grab this guy and interview him. Hell, we'd love to do it, but it's pretty unlikely he's going to show up on our
Yeah.
show, but you know, we love to have that. But anyway, we'll get a chance to hear some of that. It just won't be a Hasbro live stream. So, and maybe that's a good thing, you know, because when you're live streaming for a large corporation like that, let's be honest, what you can say is very limited. They're only going to let you say certain things, and they're gonna keep pretty tight reins on that. So
Yeah. He had an enthusiasm you couldn't fake.
Yeah.
So
And
with
that's
that, it would have been
especially with
yep,
the G.I. Joe fans, diehards, just flaming in the comments
yeah,
and still able to just carry on unfettered, j- just an absolute champion.
the
yeah.
dude
Um,
survived Cobra Island.
That's the biggest thing.
That's something, man.
And that's the biggest thing that worries me too. Like, do you have anybody else that's that passionate about the line that's going to step up? Because if you don't have the passion, it's just not going to be as good. It's just not. You can have the
and just
best
even
designers in the world. If they hate it, they don't like what they're working on, it ain't going to be as good.
and like the part in his Instagram post where he said, you know, your feedback and the call outs, like even knowing, like, listen, like he trusts us, the fans, to call out when there's missteps, just as much as we trust him, as much as we trusted him to fix those, go and, you know, make it the best possible figure going forward. And
Yeah.
it's I'm trying not to be sad that it's over. I'm trying to be happy that it happened at all, especially for as long as it has been,
Yeah.
because
I'm
Classified's been
thankful.
around for a while. We've been eating real good,
Yep.
shipping and distribution issues aside, price hikes aside.
Yep.
But
Yeah, part of me would like to think that's part of why he left is price hikes, and he understands like I think most of us savvy folks do that this is not about. This is just a cash grab. There's some convenient excuses out there in the form of tariffs and that kind of stuff, but what it is really is a cash grab. And you know, part of me likes to think would like to think that maybe that's a resignation and protest. Maybe it's not, but part of me hopes that it sort of is, because that's some shenanigans that don't need to happen. But I agree, Classified's been great. You guys drug me kicking and screaming into the line.
Well, you did until you saw the alley viper. Then it was
yep,
like, all right, this is a moot point. I beat. Good
Yeah,
job, guys.
yeah, yeah. And
yep.
you know, I haven't really looked back. Like, I mean, I guess I look
I
back on
too was a
occasion.
staunch 375 purist.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
anymore
you know,
though.
it's funny. Like now, I'm like kind of all in on 6 inch. Like,
Mhm.
I'm looking at some of the vintage collection stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Looking at some of the, you know, even some of the older 375. I'm like, no, I'm actually preferring the 6 inch. I like this better. So I'm kind of leaning all the way in there. I will say one last thing in parting that I regret, if you will. Lenny, my man, thank you for the greatness that you have brought to us. We've got some amazing things at Classified. I love it. I cannot express how disappointed I am that you did not get the refrigerator out there for me before you left. I need I need my refrigerator Perry classified figure. I need that. I need it. I'll buy like 20 of them because I love it so much. I need that figure. Bucket list.
Mm,
That's a good one
closing
to close.
remarks. The important, like, we we classified collectors. We were eating real good for a real long
Yep.
time, and that is in no small part due to Lenny and his passion, enthusiasm. Is, yeah, you know, just design choices and just willingness to show up and go on podcasts and be like, yeah, you know, we've seen the comments. We're gonna, you know, retool it. We're gonna fix coloring or whatever the need may be. But as important as it was to get classified right, it's more important to take care of your family first. And at the end of the day, that's all we can hope. That's all we expect. Lenny, it's not goodbye. It's a see you later.
Yep.
So
Looking forward to seeing what you do next.
100%
And
looking forward to it.
thank you once again. And also, I appreciate the fact that you never slid a repainted Chewbacca across the plate and said it was Black Chrysanthemum. Thank you.
and
You rock, Lenny. I look forward to seeing your next project.
on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Joe Fest in Dallas Fort Worth coming up in June. I think y'all are going to be going to that.
That's a we event, not a y'all event.
We will
It's a
see.
we.
But on that note, do you guys have anything?
No.
No, looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it.
Plug the Etsy.
Fort Wadsworth Works, yeah.
Fort Wadsworth Works.
Got tomahawks cranking, man. I'm in the middle of printing another one right now for a customer. So, they're not. I wouldn't call them flying off the shelves, but they're selling about as fast as I can make them, and that's pretty good. Like the last thing I want to do is have like a backlog of 4 or 5, where I'm like, yeah, I can. Thanks for the order. I'll get it for you in about 2 months. So check it out. Fort Wadsworth Works on Etsy. G.I.Joe classified scale Tomahawk. Fixing to add the spoiler alert. Fixing to add the Joe APC. Classified scale APC. I've got my first prototype printed up. I haven't assembled it yet, but it looks really good. It's freaking huge. And it's gonna be great. So adding a few other things down the road too, but right now the printers they're busy. So as long as they're busy, I'm happy. And frankly, making something like that I enjoy.
Is
Pretty
there going to
fun.
be a new addition to your printer soon with all these orders?
Yeah, I mean, I'm again, if I get to the point where I'm backed up, where it's like, hey, I've got like 2 or 3 orders stacked up, then yeah, I'll be adding at least one more printer. Bamboo Studio just came out with a brand new model. That's a really nice,
He said
really
at
nice
least.
mid range. Yeah, did I say at least? I'm sorry. Just one more.
He
If I add
said
more
at
than one
least
more, I'm
one
gonna have to
more.
find some. Yeah.
You were
Well,
going to go with
I've
your
also
original answer.
Gonna steal a hashtag from a friendly podcast over at X and One. Hashtag Bamboo Labs, please sponsor.
yeah. I'm doing good work with the Bamboo Lab printers. So, and they're busy. Boy, I'm running them hard. So, and they're doing great.
Yep.
They're doing great. So, shout out to those guys. They make a good quality product. Certainly, like any other 3D printer, there's been maintenance issues and things I've had to fix, but that's 3D printing, dude. So, anyway, check it out on Etsy. If you like a G.I.Joe classified scale Tomahawk, I'll hook you up. There's a lot of folks out there making them. I think there's 30 people that are licensed to make it total. I think there's probably 5 or 6 that are actually doing it, with me being one of them. I've seen examples from from most of the other sellers. They make good stuff. Mine's better. Sorry, I'm using newer equipment, nicer printers. We're all using the same files, right? So it's not the files, it's the printers. They're doing it nicer. So that's the difference. Is I have the latest and greatest technology. So check it out. If you're interested, I'll hook you up.
On that note, when it comes to a Yojo June without Lenny, you guys are going to have to help us figure it out. Take care.
Later, y'all.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Figure It Out crew back again. This time we are talking about going again for take 3. I am not on my game today, guys.
You got this,
Dude, you're
homie.
killing it, man.
All right.
You're killing it. Killing the takes.
That's right. Yep.